Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and this evening I'm going to do you a quick what's in the box kit review on my TAMIYA 172 Kawasaki Ki-61-Id HEIN, or as the Americans called it, the Tony. And as you can see by the box art, this is an aluminium finish with a rather pretty red stripe and red tail, and we're going to actually build this one tomorrow. And that's how I'm going to be building it as, although there are a couple of other colour variations available. So as per normal, I'm going to read you the blurb as provided by TAMIYA, although I'm only going to read two sections of it because it is actually quite long. So here we go. The development of the HEIN. At the Imperial Japanese Army behest in December 1940, Kawasaki Aerospace Company produced a prototype 1,175 horsepower HA-40, a licensed version of the Daimler-Benz DB601 engine. This liquid-cooled unit was more powerful and had less aerodynamic impact than comparable sized air-cooled engines. IJA Air Doctrine called for a combination of heavily and lightly armed fighters, and in February 1940 they had ordered Kawasaki to develop the Ki-60 Heavy Fighter and the Ki-61 Light Fighter, both employing the HA-40. Experienced designer Takai Doi oversaw the parallel development of the two. While the Ki-60 was given priority earlier on, was rejected in favour of the slightly faster and more manoeuvrable Nakajima Ki-44. Doi still had great plans for the Ki-61, which he believed should not be limited to the concessions of just a light fighter. Design work began in March 1940. Its high aspect ratio, single-piece wing designed for superior high altitude and high-speed performance, plus manoeuvrability. The fuselage was lower profile and longer than the Ki-60s, and the radiator embedded in a central position on the fuselage underside together with the oil cooler. Impressive test flights yielded a maximum speed of 590 kilometers an hour at 6,000 meters, with favorable time to 10,000 meters, service ceiling of approximately 11,600 meters, and range of 3,200 kilometers. Figures, and the aircraft was officially adopted in June 1943, its HEIN nickname coming in early 1945. I'm going to skip out the variant section of the HEIN and move on to combat in the Pacific. As the struggle in the Pacific grew more desperate into 1943, units were equipped with the brand new HEIN. First in April 1943, the 68th Sentai Air Group in New Guinea, then in that June, the 78th Sentai in Rabaul. Both units saw action in July, providing protection on bombing runs and also as interceptors. The HEIN dogfighting with US P-38s and P-40s. From September 1944 onwards, it also took on US aircraft such as the F-6Fs in fighting in the skies over the Philippines and Taiwan, in which it fared somewhat poorly against superior numbers. Implacable foe, the B-29. From November 1944 onwards, the HEIN had a further foe with which to contend, US B-29 bombers, which began bombing raids on the Japanese home islands. As the B-29s came in at nearly 10,000 meters, few Japanese aircraft other than the HEIN could provide significant resistance, and even it required measures such as shedding armour plate. The 244th Sentai were charged with air defence of the capital, Tokyo, and led by renowned pilot Captain Terihiko Kobayashi. The aforementioned Ki-61-2 and Ki-100 aircraft were also deployed in an effort to stop incursions by the B-29 and F-6F. Now this particular aircraft here, in its rather striking colour setup, I believe is actually the aircraft as depicted flown by this Captain Terihiko Kobayashi. Excuse my terrible pronunciation. Right, now as per my normal thing that's at the moment with me doing a Japanese week called Land of the Rising Sun, where I'm building and reviewing lots of Japanese aircraft, I'm going to munch on this cone marshmallow. And that's good. So now let's have a look in the box. Let's get all our pieces out. Save the munching for later. Let's have a quick look at the instruction books, which, as you'd expect from the Tamiya, are really nicely presented and well set out. Window 1, we're going to be dealing with the cockpit interior. That's what we got there. Number 2, we're going to put this seat together. 3, we're moving on to the fuselage. 4, again, we're looking at the fuselage again. And 5, we're going to put in several other sections and the crew compartments. Section 7, we're moving on to wing assembly. And section 8, we attach the wings to the fuselage. It's amazing that it does really look like a quite look like an ME-109. And I have actually read somewhere that when the Americans first encountered this, they thought they were actually being attacked by ME-109s. It's kind of interesting. Number 9, we're going to put the exhaust cowlings on. Number 10, we're going to move on to our undercarriage. 11, we're going to fix the undercarriage. And section 12, we're going to stick the umbrella on and put our cockpit cover on. As you can see, we've got some, unfortunately, black and white colour markings. And as this one is, we can see here, Captain Terahiko Kobayashi, 244th Air Group, Chofu Air Base, February 1945. That's what I intend to do. And here we have, this one's actually green, and this is the 19th Air Group, Luzon, Philippines, 1945. So that's the instructions dealt with. And now we have a little bit of this marshmallow. First piece we've got are the cockpit cover. I believe and think this is the gun sight here. I'm not too sure what that little piece is there though. There we go. Here we have the markings. As you can see, the red stripe and the yellow ID markings for the front are provided. Thank you, Tamiya. I'm going to paint them on. We've got some white flashes which go on the tail. And we've got a variety of other little bits and bobs and symbols. This blue flash here would actually look pretty cool as well. Maybe I'll buy another one and we can have 2 HEINs because they are incredibly pretty. So moving on to this sprue. Here we have this section of the front cover for the engine. And as we can see, we've got a couple of machine guns protruding here. They're very nicely detailed. We have parts of the tail. I'm not too sure what these pieces here are. That's obviously part of the propeller assembly. So there we go, we've got those ones. Here we have the upper surface of the wings, which are nicely detailed with our favourite panel lines, and we've got some access hatches here as well, which you can see tiny, sorry I should be holding this up further, which you can see tiny rivets and whatnot on. We've got the propeller, we've got the spinner for the propeller. This looks like part of the cockpit instrument panel. We've got the tail wheel. We've got really nicely detailed floor and, so it goes that way. Floor and pedal section here for the cockpit. That's the back of the seat, which is nicely detailed as well. You can see it's got ribs on the back of the seat. Moving on to the fuselage. Again, that's nicely detailed. Plastic feels really nice. The rudder's nicely detailed. You can see the hinges there as well, which is great. I think this part here goes actually behind the pilot, and this strip somehow goes in the middle here. We've got some wheels. They're looking pretty plain, to be honest with you. We've got the undercarriage mechanism here, which has got some nice detail. You can just about make out some springs and what have you. We've got the covers for the landing gear, which have got a bit of detail as well. And here we have the underneath section of the wing, which has got a lot of detail on it. There's a lot of nice detail going on the void where the undercarriage goes into. So we've got about sort of 50 or 60 parts to put together. So this is by no means a expert or you know an intermediate kit, and anybody can have a go with this one, I reckon. And if you take your time, which I'm starting to do now after my speed building phase, I think hopefully I'll get something quite nice out of it. So there we go. I'm just going to have a slurp of my lager, which also, in the spirit of going Japanese, is Sapporo Premium beer. brewed in Ireland. Bit of a fake that. And now I'm going to have some of this matcha mochi. For those that are unfamiliar with mochi, which I was about a week ago, it's a rice cake. And as you can see, it's green and it's got some brown gooey loveliness in it, which kind of looks like coffee or chocolate. So let's have a go. It's not very green, this is it. They're kind of squidgy, these. It's nice. I had one yesterday and it was bloody awful. Tasted like old socks. That's quite nice though. I'm still at a bit of a loss what to the brown squidginess is though. Don't know. It's not chocolate. It could be chocolate. It's got another flavour to it though. Not quite sure. I'll try and work it out later by eating 6 of them. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little video. Please like and subscribe and join me for my model building ride. And please do check out my other videos that I've done for what I've called Land of the Rising Sun Week. We built a Shinden, or we nearly built a Shinden. We've nearly built a Jack. We've nearly built a Gecko. We've got another one being painted at the moment, which is called a Cheyenne, which is a float plane. And we've got a Nakajima in the cupboard. Hopefully we're going to start finishing some of these off. I say that every night and we don't really get anywhere with them. But we'll get them done eventually. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So thanks for watching again. Cheers. And I'll be seeing you later. Bye-bye.